Okay, guys, it is currently 12:33 a.m. I wanted to get this video at least started. This is actually the first like full Dark Souls walkthrough I've done in videos. Usually we do everything on live streams, but this one took a little longer than expected because for this platinum you actually have to go through the game twice. So this walkthrough is going to be a continuation from the past live streams that we did this week. But either way, congratulations, you beat the game once if you're here. Now we're going to work towards the Golden Lie, which is the last weapon that you need for Platinum. We're going to go through everything. So for the Golden Lie, you literally have to do everything 100% correct. You guys asked me to make this video, so yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to do it in 30-minute increments and like just so that it's palatable, so you don't have to watch like a 5-hour video. So yeah, either way, we'll get started. We'll go through some stuff before we start new game of where you should be at. I'll try to not edit these as much as possible. Just one shot. Don't even think about it, Missy Buns. So this is the end game from where we somewhat left off. So you should have just beaten, if you follow the playthrough, again, you should have just beaten the Nameless Puppet. If not, that's okay. If you're starting from scratch, that's fine. But let's talk about what you absolutely will need in New Game Plus. In my opinion, so let me just put it this way. When I started New Game Plus the first time, it was significantly harder. Not so much from the damages, but more so from like the elemental effects. Like Decay really messed me up. Same with Disruption. Now, as of about an hour ago, they just did a huge update for making the game significantly easier in New Game Plus. So thank you, devs, because I had a rough time the second time through. I will not lie to you. But the only other thing that I would recommend weapon-wise, as you can see, we have all the weapons. I strongly recommend getting this weapon. If you don't have it, you just need any weapon that has high scaling. So I actually already turned this one to S. If you don't have this weapon because you didn't use the boss soul for it, all you would use is probably, I thought Mjolnir was pretty good, but anything that has, see where it says motivity? Right? Motivity D, you want something that's like a B or even an A scaling, especially if you're doing a strength build. So like the pistol drill is really good, but I would strongly recommend this weapon, not because of the actual damage that it does, which is a lot of damage, but the stagger ability on this thing is nuts. So that's why I strongly recommend it. The other thing I would recommend for if you're on like New Game Plus or whatever, again, you don't need this, but there's an amulet that you get from the Nameless Puppet called the Piercing Hatred Amulet, which allows immunity to all status effects, which is like, I mean, that's just OP as hell. Because of the nerf, I might not need it, but either way, that's really all you need. Make sure you buy out the store for anything else. Oh, the only other thing I would strongly recommend, because again, we only care about stagger damage, is the grindstone. Make sure you have the destruction grindstone because you can build up your stagger damage faster. It's literally what got me through the whole New Game Plus playthrough. So the other thing that we'll do real fast, technically we could do it when we start New Game Plus, is P organs. Again, constantly get your quartz. For the 100%, which we're going to do, I'm going to show you pretty much all the quartz locations, but you might as well max out your character for any DLC coming up. But as you can see, truth be told, I never used the cube at all in my second playthrough. I thought it was kind of a waste, but we're pretty much maxed out. The rest of these are all just kind of token quartz things. So I just need, like, if I do one more playthrough, I'll max out the yeah, I should max out the skill tree. So perfect. Besides that, as long as you're close to mine, you don't have to be perfect, obviously, but that stuff does help. I have everything else and we're good. So I think we're good to start New Game Plus. Right? I think that's it. So, actually, let me just pause real fast, just another quality of life. Let's say you don't have any of the boss weapons, which we will be getting now. You don't get this weapon till later, so that's why I said you should get anything that has high motivity. So B scaling or even A scaling. If you have something that's B scaling, you can assemble weapon, or I'm sorry, that's dumb of me. Alter the handle and then just add the motility so that you can get it to whatever highest strength you can. That's what you want. Strength scaling. But yeah, so at that point, we're good. I think this is the weapon that you should use if you're using a strength build. The other thing you'll notice is that I'm a very high level. don't worry about that because I've hit all the hard caps a while ago. It's just like there's not much else you can do with the extra levels that they give you. So I'm curious how this is going to scale because I have a gut feeling this is going to be pretty rough if everything scales for a third time. But yeah, so you can keep the loadout that you're already using. It's going to be fine. I strongly recommend just getting the upgraded version in the new game. So yeah, we're going to skip through all the dialogue. If you watch the live stream, you will know where everything, like we're not going through all the cutscenes and stuff. That's all in the original playthrough. Do you wish to reset P organs? Hit no. You don't want that.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
So you're going to see how fast we stagger stuff, which is really nice. And then we'll get our Legion arm later. I strongly recommend using the maxed out... truth be told, you don't really need your Aegis arm in New Game Plus. It really doesn't matter because we're going to stagger the absolute crap out of everything. It doesn't even matter. Like, this is going to be the best, in my opinion, the best strength build you can possibly do. So, yeah, just do this. Switch Legion arm. I really liked using this because the maxed out version lets you like fly to an enemy and stagger them right off the hop. So it's nice to have, but you don't necessarily need it. Everything else I pretty much have maxed out except for 2, so we'll get that in this one. And then yeah, let's do this. So we're going for 100%. Hopefully we won't have any real problems. We'll see. Now the only other recommendation as you go through the game, balance out your strength, vigor. Cap out your strength, your motility. Oh, probably a good idea to have a weapon. Max out your motility. Yeah, we're good. Oh, we're good. So max out your motivity, I apologize. And then once you max out that, start working towards capacity because although the stats are different for the most part, once you start getting new equipment, it's not that the stats do change, but the hardest part is managing the weight because the weight gets heavier. So I purposely, if you look at my stats, I purposely got my weight as low as possible. So I personally finished my build completely at like level, what am I now? Probably like 120, I would say. I think I'm like 160 right now. But yeah, everything else I'm just kind of putting into technique and advance, even though it doesn't really matter because I'm already hard capped. Well, yeah, pretty much hard capped. So yeah. So yeah, it doesn't seem like, and I don't want to jinx it, it doesn't seem like anything scaled higher in New Game Plus. It seems like I'm doing about the same damage, but I don't know. I think, like, I don't know if New Game Plus 5 makes a huge difference. The bosses in this went a lot smoother. We're just kind of talking ahead here. But the bosses in this went a lot smoother than the first time, except for, like, the last... Actually, I think the boss that gave me the most trouble was the last boss, and then the swamp boss. I think that's it. So the other recommendation that I have for you is every time you pick up a note, make sure you read it. Just quick read it. You don't have to like memorize or anything. You just want to get through the dialogue because some of the quest lines require you to at least read the documents. So it's easier just to read everything you pick up rather than like go back and figure it out. Because honestly, as much as I love this game, I don't feel like the UI is perfect. So yeah. The other thing you'll notice is sometimes I'll pick up an ergo that is significantly different than the ones that you might be picking up in New Game or New Game Plus. And that's just because the ergo pickups scale according to what game you're on. Like what new game or whatever. So this is why the puppet string is so good. Ready? So just get behind him. And then hold it down. And then boom. And then you can stagger just like that. Like the stagger damage that this thing does is ridiculous. To the point where you don't have to do finishers. In fact, I would say that some of the bosses don't even bother like stunning them, just keep hitting them with your heavy. You do want to get used to using this weapon because it is a little complicated to use if you're using it for the first time. Most of the heavy weapons in this are very slow, but what's cool about this one is, let's say I swing, you can kind of combo it like this. So if your stamina is high, like you can get a bunch of hits in before you really take any legit damage. But yeah. So we'll get through this area, get to the hotel, and that'll be like the first video, I think. This part's pretty easy. This is all kind of like tutorial area. So most of this is pretty self-explanatory, but to get the golden lie, you literally have to lie every single time. I might have said that, but it doesn't hurt to reiterate. And we'll go through everything. So the other thing that's sick about this weapon is that ability. Now that ability is amazing because you're actually immune when using it. So yeah, use it to your advantage. By now, if you have been doing your P organs, and again, it doesn't really matter. Let's say you're on new game, which if you are on new game, just use the starting heavy weapon until you get to, which weapon is it? You want, where is it? This one. Once you get the electric coil is really good for new game, but new game plus you're gonna want this bad boy or Mjolnir. Mjolnir's not bad. And for those of you that are wondering, here, I should show it to you. I apologize that I didn't. As you know, I'm a little scatterbrained, but Mjolnir is this one right here. It's a good weapon. It has A scaling if you have the handle on it. But it's a little slow and it doesn't do as much stagger damage, but it'll get you through new game plus if you need to. Especially if you have the grindstone for stamina or whatever. Or stamina, stagger damage. Whoops. Sawtooth wheel. We're going to kill every enemy. Again, I strongly recommend, like, let's say you're on new game and you already know all this stuff. Don't skip out on anything because you do want to scale just in case you have to do a new game. Like a new game plus. But yeah. And also, if there's anything that I miss and you guys know I miss it, please write in the comments just so I can remember it for next time. But I think we should be okay. I feel pretty confident in this because this game's not as linear as, or not as, it's more linear than Dark Souls. So I think that it's tough. Truth be told, it's hard to miss things in this game, but it is easy to mess up certain dialogues for your golden lie. So Fabled Catalysts, I strongly recommend you put that on, as well as you can take off Gemini's lantern. It's kind of useless. This game's bright enough. I don't think you'll need it. So just Fable, you'll only be able to hold 3 at first, which is more than enough, and then that's really all you need. I feel like these enemies are hitting a little bit harder, but again, we have 10 Estises, so we should be okay. Boom, Vivid Ergo Chunk. So this guy's going to be your first problem. You might struggle with him, but again, if you have the puppet string, you should be good. So, like, again, you can stagger with this thing. You can stagger pretty much every basic enemy in the game. If not, just get behind them, play it smart. As I said, with this weapon, although the durability on it's terrible, the amount of stagger damage you will do is just unfathomable, in my opinion. How dare you? Go on up here. And you should be able to drop on this guy. Boom. Go on down here. I think this is just another ergo chunk, but we will see. So we will be going through all of the records. Now, remember, there's one record in this which is decision-based. So if you make one decision in New Game, you'll have to make it again in New Game Plus, but the opposite decision, which is with Eugenia's questline. So if you didn't get it the first time, you will have to go through 2 new games, which, again, as you can see, it's not too bad. But we'll get to that part later. Not that big of a deal. We have a long time before we even get to that. So open this for the shortcut back. I'm going to assume most of you guys are through the game, but I'll treat it as if we are with new players, just who want to know how to get the golden lie. So this is the shortcut back to the last, like this open area. Go on through. We cleared down low, correct? Yep. So, as I said, you will need records for this. For your golden lie, you need all 16 records plus the extra 6. Is it? It might be. Hold on, let's see. I should have all of them. Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 6. I'm sorry, plus 5 golden records. So these golden records are all bought off these guys. Let's see if it'll still give it to me. Purchase. Okay, so I can still buy the golden records. So each one of these guys, for the most part, will have them. And then there's one at the end that requires a little bit of a side mission to get. So that's where you're going to get the first one. Again, always read through that stuff. You can always go back into your inventory and read it, but it's just easier to do it now. Let's just pop our ergo and get a quick level out of it. Yeet. So switch Legion, I would just go through all this stuff so you don't have to deal with it. Wish Cube, as I said, I did not use this once. I didn't find it super useful. If you find it useful, obviously use it, but let's do one quick level. So you'll notice real fast, as I said, I'm at the soft cap. So if you look up at my damage, everything just goes up by 1, which is awful. So there's really no, I might as well just build advance and get my damage reductions up, my physical reductions. So that's why I'm just putting it all into technique and advance in this one. Maybe I'll get them both to 30, but all right, let's see how we do against this boss. Big skip. So the way I recommend doing this, so let's just see how we do damage wise. Boom. Yeah, so that's pretty solid damage. And then if you want to use your grindstone, I mean that'll help quite a bit as well. Like I've already staggered him. We're hitting hard. So now I'll pop a Fable. Just block. This thing has insane block, so. You will want to get good at perfect blocks, just because. Don't want to get greedy. Woo. You know what? Why not? Just to get through it. Like, it's stupid how much damage this thing does. And usually I kill that guy so fast I've never really memorized his attack pattern. So I just kind of just slam through him every time. So that's really the only time you'll see me rely on the Fable charge. But by this point in the game, you have so many of them that it really doesn't make a dent. Like, see, I'm already... There's another Fable Catalyst. So you might as well keep them on you. Never actually grabbed that thing, but I don't think you have to. So we have the Golden Covenant or whatever it's called. Or no, the Grand Covenant. Which allows us to lie. Unlike other puppets who aren't allowed to lie. So that's kind of the story. We'll go through most of the lore. Hidden Moonstone. I believe this is the only thing here. Oh, no, there is something over here. Definitely not anything that important. It's just some ergo. And now we will lie and get into Hotel Krat. We have to tell the door that we're human. So if you were doing the only lies, or only the bad ending, you want to tell the truth the whole time rather than lie every time. So it says your springs are reacting. By the end of the game, we need to get our heart pounding. And the only way you do that is by getting all the golden records. Well, you can do it without getting all the golden records. It's just you have to 100% everything, and you'll see how to do that through this guide. You're going to get... truthfully, although this is the Golden Lie walkthrough, you're going to get your platinum as well for the most part in this New Game Plus. Sweet. So before we're at 22 minutes, yeah. So go through Sophia. She gives you the pocket watch. Another thing I never use that brings you back to the last. Stargazer or bonfire, whatever you want to call it. So we can talk to her, go through all of her stuff, basically talk to everyone in here. The lamp. Just to make sure. So, from here on, all this is locked for right now. Geppetto's part. She's going to give you your first Legion arm, which is the puppet string. You already have it, so it doesn't really matter. You can do any upgrades. Strongly recommend getting your... by now, if you start a new game, you should have... Unless you wasted on another boss weapon, you should be able to max out your club right now. I'm just going to call it the club. So, you're good in that regard. Now we want to go talk to this dude. We can talk to him about the Grand Covenant. That's fine. We just want to go through dialogues. That's really it. Go on down here for an item. Go through it. Venigi, we'll get to him later. Talk to Antonia. So she gives you... Show off clothes, some memory, all that stuff. About Geppetto. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Right? I don't believe that door's open just yet. So we won't go in there. We won't bother. A couple things change in New Game, but that's fine. Did I do this right? Let's see. For some reason, I feel like I... Yeah, so Sophia's like, eh. Okay, so we'll start this part in the next episode.